Okay, let's do Aquarius. Aquarius for May 2025. Okay, numerical spread. So this is where your body's at. This is where your mind is at. This is the root of it all. Head, body, and mind. Head, body, mind. All right, let's see what's happening, Aquarius. Okay, well. Okay, let's have a look. So, Knight of Pentacles, slow and methodical. The fields have been tilled, looking forward. They've got the leaves, I think they're oak leaves or something. So, like the growth, life, ready for the spring, summery and warm, but a bit more methodical. So where you're at, you're probably feeling like you're methodically approaching or developing something, waiting for things to grow and show their fruition at the beginning of the month. You're feeling quite generous, or that generosity has been bestowed on you. So you're feeling balanced. You feel like there's enough to give to those around you. At the root of all of this is some wise decision making. Maybe that could be linked to the communication and networking that you were doing last month. Last month was about networking and communicating. So maybe at the root of this is all of those connections that you made that's left you feeling optimistic with the path forward and feeling that there's enough money to pull this off or to do this thing. You're not in a state of lack. In the middle month, the middle 2 weeks, there's a level of keeping things in balance, trying to keep things in balance, keeping things in balance. And there's some simple victories to be won and achievements made. So, you're feeling like you're setting forth, you've got some knowledge and you've got the ability to sort of strike out and to be successful. It does feel, though, in your body and how your day-to-day is going, you're feeling a little bit like that water in the background, up and down, a little bit sort of turbulent, but you're keeping all your plates in the air, you're juggling all your balls. The root of that would be perhaps we've got some knights. I would say sort of the root of this juggling period or successful period is perhaps your really good ability to communicate. I mean, he's able to step forward and work on new projects. His chalice is full, or he's offering it out to receive more. The horse is mid-stride, doing that lovely high leg step. There's all opportunity here. So perhaps the root of this is opportunity and also your willingness to do that. Like I'm getting I know you're Aquarius, but I'm getting like Sagittarian vibes where you've just got so much charisma. So maybe that's what you're going to do, Aquarius. You're going to have your charisma and your networking is the root of where you're at. Okay, moving on to the last week of the month. Feeling a little bit strife, practicing, getting your ducks in a row. This can be fighting, or this can be mock fighting or preparation. They're not swords or anything. They're and they've got new leaves on them. So maybe nutting out a project, perhaps is linked to that. And you've got some choices to make, of course. You're not 100% sure. I get the feeling that you've got to make it maybe on your own and you don't really want to. So maybe consider talking and I don't know, reviewing, discussing, revisiting this group discussion or this group activity. At the root of all of this is that level of unknown. So I suppose if we think about unknown and we think about duality and we think about sort of this crayfish walking the path to the new path to the new messages that the moon will bring down. So perhaps there's a full moon or an eclipse-like state that will be a signifier. So I'm not really sure what the moons are doing in your month, but let's have a look at the astrology of the month for Aquarius. About connecting with your community and exploring your values, spend time with loved ones and contribute in a meaningful way. Well, if we link that to this, then that networking communication. So this could be more about abundance of friendship, or abundance of connection, or this could be with your hobbies, this could be with work, this could be with a community group that you're working with, and perhaps this month is the month where you have, you've done your bit of your networking, you're feeling very optimistic about moving forward. It all feels like it's going to work out. In the middle of the month, it's a bit tricky. You've got to, keep your balls in the court, but there's really new great opportunities, and you feel like, you're ready to receive what's being offered. Over here though, I think these kind of talk to each other as well, with your sevens. So, 7 is spirituality and mystery. So there's a level of, you're offering cup, but maybe you don't know what you're going to get in return, or maybe it's you've got to make a tricky decision. But I would suggest looking at what happens with a group of people, maybe 5 people, or the number 5, and look at, what did you learn from that scenario, that situation? It is all a bit up in the air and a bit undetermined. I think that's linked to here because the root of this is, what will you decide? So at the end of the month, you're sort of left with a few questions. Okay, I rabbited on about that one, didn't I? Okay, let's go Aquarius. Oops. Let's see what the Numerous Oracle deck will say for Aquarius for the month of May. Oops, this one wants to jump to Overdress. Let's see if that comes out. I'll shuffle one more time. Okay. Head in the sand. The Tower. Wow. Peel back the layers. Holy dooly. Let's see if I can work that out. That's a bit different. Okay. So head in the sand, it's a number 5. Do we have any other 5s here? Yep, this here. So perhaps in the beginning of the month, you are not aware of this potential strife. You're feeling really optimistic. But there is a level of unknown because you're not seeing the picture. I don't feel like you've got your head in the sand. I feel like you've got your head in the game. But there is a level of not knowing with this card. It's all not revealed. So I would definitely link it to this, that in this activity in the last weeks of, so last 7 days of May, I feel there's going to be something that you'll learn that will peel back the layers, dig you out of the sand and give you a bit more vision. So I would say maybe it's for some of you a head in the sand, refusing to look at a situation properly, or you're being a bit idealistic, or it is that, you just can't see it now because you just can't see because it's happening at the end of the month with this 5. Now, zeros, this is the Psychic Masters deck, and zeros are, they bring about extra potential, or they sort of, amplify the cards around it. So if we look at that in that way, it's amplifying that dizziness, I would say. Yeah. So the Tower, this is based on the traditional Tower of the tarot, but because it's a 0, it's more about massive change, something just throws you off. And it could be just sort of saying that, I've seen the water a lot here, choppy waters. So the middle of the month is a bit of a balancing act. It's a bit hardcore. And it's really accentuated potentially due to these 5s, this unknown thing that happens at the end of the month. So at the end of the month, you are left with making a decision. And I strongly suggest reviewing that sort of physical thing, or that interaction that happened. I'd also say that, number 3 means peel back layers, dig deeper, understand more. 3s are about enthusiasm and about creativity and communication. So, but you've got, as I said, you've got to it's almost like if it was a business and you implemented a new project and now you've got to go back and do all the reviews and checks. And so you do a mail out to get people's opinions on the execution or the product or the thing. So it's like product review. It's almost like you've got to peel back the layers and review this situation, and that will help you understand the beginning of the month and what happened. Why did you feel so rocky? There's something undermining you or something that you don't know about, and it's it adds to this seasick balancing act. Even though you're coming at it with a good heart and you feel good and it's opportunity, there's a good opportunity, but there is a level of unknown, and you're going to have to peel back the layers from a certain situation, and make a decision based on that peeling back. Very interesting. Okay, Aquarius. Good luck. I hope you find out what the hell this is.